Hi, I'm Gary Adams, and this is my Pecha Kucha presentation for Education 506 at the University of Southern California's Rossier School of Education. This slideshow is to present my lesson plan on the emergence of political parties in colonial America. Americans are used to choosing. We choose our most valuable player, or MVP, in sports based upon performance and impact on a team. The Associated Press NFL MVP award is voted upon by sports writers at the end of a regular season before the playoffs. We choose the most talented singer in national competitions. Indeed, very often these choices become popular celebrities and cultural icons in their own right. The concept of the American Idol TV series is to find new solo artists where the winner is determined by the viewers. These celebrities and pop icons can disappoint and fall from public grace, as being famous leads to loss of privacy, demanding expectations, gratification of ego needs, wealth, access, temptations, and concerns about family impact. Nowhere has this public mistrust occurred more than with a special class of celebrity, the politician. According to the most recent poll by the Pew Research Center, both political parties in the 21st century America, Democrat and Republican, are unpopular with the voting public. The latest Pew Research Center survey found that just 33% of Americans have a favorable opinion of the Republican Party, while 58% have an unfavorable view. The Democratic Party is viewed more positively. Still, unfavorable opinions, 50%, outnumber the favorable ones, 41%. But this low public regard was not always the case. George Washington, our first president, was elected by the unanimous choice of the electors, and he served 2 terms in office. He oversaw the creation of a strong, well-financed national government and won acceptance among Americans of all types. Fear of strife and factionalism was deeply rooted in Anglo-American political culture even before Washington became the new republic's first president in 1789. Washington despised political factions and hoped that this revolutionary experiment in self-governance could be motivated by a common intent. Despite opposition from the widely revered first president, political parties did form in the United States, and they had their beginnings in Washington's cabinet. As Secretary of the Treasury, Alexander Hamilton began opposing the ideas of Secretary of State and later President Thomas Jefferson. My lesson plan will teach students to evaluate opposing political views in colonial America, leading them to better understand the concept of legitimate political opposition and a two-party system. While the issues were different, the parties then developed support mechanisms to promote their ideas. My plan will foster the convergence of students' interests in communications, cultural studies, media production, and literacy education, focusing them in both pairs and larger groups to brainstorm their collective intelligence using a specific set of multimedia tools and historical thinking skills. Working in small groups and using an online interactive learning website, students will determine who had the better vision. Through peer mentoring and modeling, students will become increasingly self-regulating and self-motivating while learning critical new media skills like judgment. This lesson plan is built upon student ability to create and track the same themes across different forms of media, which is a new media skill called transmedia navigation. They start the lesson by using the think aloud technique to read primary source documents summarizing the fundamental beliefs of Hamilton and Jefferson. The lesson plan is built on student ability to create and track the same themes across different forms of media, which is a new media skill called transmedia navigation. They start the lesson by using the think aloud technique to read primary source documents summarizing the fundamental beliefs of Hamilton and Jefferson. Working in pairs and then larger groupings, students will demonstrate the new media skill of multitasking or being able to shift and focus their attention while other groups are working around them. 2 subgroups will form from the pairs, one for Hamilton and one for Jefferson. They will create a fake book or blog post summarizing their candidates' positions. The plan uses 4 learning theories, matrix to create a safe and caring learning environment. Working collaboratively using historical reading skills and Web 2.0 applications, students are employing constructionist theory to construct new knowledge as well as developmental theory. Students will use social cognitive learning theory by drawing on prior knowledge and sociocultural theory as the content will be within their zone of proximal development with sufficient scaffolding for the student to perform the task with the help of other students or the teacher. The learning plan's objectives, activities, and assessments target effective practices and standards in teaching history skills. The plan also makes accommodation for special needs and English language arts students through provision of an individualized learning plan for each student. In this plan, the teacher introduces open-ended questions to start the motivation activity, engaging students and bringing them into the topic. These questions also serve as formative and dynamic assessment tools to gauge student knowledge and understanding of history, political theory, and civics. While the parties are different, the topics and issues causing them to form are the same, such as states' rights to regulate the use and sale of marijuana or the federal government's right to override states' legislation on immigration. I hope that you have found this plan to be exciting, relevant, and fun. It teaches key historical and language arts skills, utilizes leading-edge new media and Web 2.0 skills, meets state and national Common Core standards, and performs assessment. Thank you very much for listening.